Hey Fandom, it's me Aaron for a comics show. It's a great week for comics. Secret Wars is just on fire for me. Issue 1 was pretty darn good. I was really happy with issue 2. I'm in love with it. And Convergence issue 6 is finally what I wanted. And there are some image books that really keep me happy. So let's dig in here. Secret Wars 2. It's entitled Battleworld, and I'm sure you've seen this Battleworld map with all the different lands. It looks like some kind of like game of Risk or some other type of tabletopping, but this issue was awesome. It starts with the Thors, and all of these Thors, crazy amounts of Thors, like a Thor core for reals, and they are all bowing to Doom as their god. Like Doom is a god now. He's God Emperor Doom. He's created this, stitched together this battle world himself, and we get right in the middle of things, right in the middle of this story with different lands have their barons, and they all have to be loyal to Doom, and they fight to see who's going to rule it, and there's all kinds of little surprises and things that probably could suspect that happen or maybe have seen from different variant covers or different kind of spoilers, but the thing is, it's greater than the sum of the parts. This is fun. This is really well done, really awesome, great art, and it's like House of M, but like way more epic, like way more like everything that you've ever liked about Marvel, and even the stuff you don't like about Marvel has a land too. It's all together, and Doom is kind of, for some reason, holding this all together and ruling it. And whereas Convergence, there's a lot of talking, a lot of setup, a lot of now these domes are coming down, and now you have to fight, and blah, blah, blah. This is like first issue, encouraging happens. Second issue, everything's already said and done. We're in the middle of things. And then something happens in this issue with characters from the previous incarnation, the 616 characters here in this book, kicking some ass already. So I am excited about so many of these tie-ins. So many of these, the tie-ins are the worlds, the different lands. And it's fun. It's well done. And if you're a Marvel fan, there's really not much reason for cynicism. There really isn't. These are great creators doing great things with characters from great periods of time that you liked. So let yourself like it. Let yourself read Hickman's Secret Wars and enjoy it, and then get the tie-ins that you want. You don't have to get them all, but if you liked Old Man Logan, get Old Man Logan. Why not? Great variant cover here with the female Thor. Great Wolverine action figure cover. That Wolverine is way more detailed than my Secret Wars Wolverine was back in the 80s, but great cover. And Thor 8. This is the reveal of who the female Thor is, and it was awesome. It wasn't, of course it was what some people were guessing, and it definitely wasn't what the majority of people were guessing. It wasn't what Thor himself guessed, and it's revealed here. And if you're somewhat savvy, you can get it from page 2. It's not revealed on page 2, but just from the internal monologue of female Thor on page 2, you should be able to get who it is, and it's revealed at the end. And I'm excited about it. I think it's cool. I think it's awesome who this is and what the dynamics of what that means and how what her other life is. And I'm not going to spoil it, but I would love to talk about it with other people that have read it because I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the volume is out now. This is 1 through 5 together in a hardcover. This is 8, so you'll need to get 6 and 7 if you want to be current, but the hardcover is out. Howard the Duck 3 made me laugh out loud so many times. Great team up with Howard and Aunt May. You know, you think it's like, oh, Howard's going to team up with Spider-Man. No, he's going to team up with his Aunt May, and she actually wants to be called Aunt May, like by people that aren't her nephew, which is really weird, and Howard says it's weird, but he goes with it because he's a talking duck. You know, what the hell is he supposed to do? Eat bread off from people at the park? I mean, Sadowski is doing really well with it. I'm really enjoying it. And Vader is my favorite of all the Star Wars books. Gillen's doing great. I like the Afra. I like the torture droids. And I like what's going on with Vader trying to put together all these machinations, all this stuff to build his reputation back, to have his control of things under the Emperor that no one else takes control as the second to the Emperor other than him after, you know, the big folly of the Death Star exploding. And we get a whole lot more great new characters in here. And I liked it. And you see the 2 lightsabers on the cover. Yeah, that's in here. And it's not Luke, and it's not Obi-Wan back. It's 2 new characters. So, and before you say, oh, that's stupid, there's no other Jedi, just read the book. It's awesome, trust me. Convergence 6, this is what we wanted. With Convergence 5, there's one point where Dick Grayson's like, what's the point of all this? It's like meta. It's like, I don't know, man. I mean, I thought this was going to be all these nostalgic characters fighting Telos and Brainiac or whatever, but instead it's just the Earth 2 New 52 characters. But this issue is what I wanted the whole time, and it's what you wanted if you're a DC fan. The first page says, our universe now. Like, yes, not some other thing, not some other world, not some other city, not some dome, not whatever. It's our universe now, and it starts with the New 52 characters seeing what's going on with Telos, and then the characters from those cities choosing sides either with Telos or with Diamanos, or however you pronounce the wackadoo from Warlord, choosing sides. And the side that decides to fall under the Diamos guy, they're these guys. There's like the Kingdom Come guys, the Flashpoint guys, the Crime Syndicate guys, the ones that will side with evil to survive. And then our side is the good guys, the ones that we want to see together. We get Wally West and all that. So I liked it. I'm excited. That's what I wanted from issue 1. Maybe a little setup, but come on, you had a 0 issue. We could have had this before issue 6. Damn it, DC. Anyway, a lot was forgiven for me with Justice League International 2. This was all the feels. All the feels. I had the Beatles back. I had Ted Kord Beetle from the Justice League International and Ted Kord Blue Beetle from Kingdom Come teaming up together. It was awesome. And if you guys don't know Kingdom Come, I keep saying Kingdom Come this, Kingdom Come this. Look how cool it is, Kingdom Come Superman with Superboy. Just read Kingdom Come. If you haven't read Kingdom Come, the best thing that come out of Convergence would be you reading Kingdom Come, because it's a great epic book by Wade and Alex Ross. So do that. But this had all the feels of Beetle and Booster, and I freaking loved it. Beyond that, you got a bunch of Convergence. There's about 10 a week. Nothing really stood out for me other than those 2 books. But you got those 8-page backups. And the Action Comic backup in Superboy was pretty good, of him not having powers, not being Kryptonian anymore maybe, having his suit stripped off of him by the Fortress of Solitude and all kinds of weirdness. Steel had a Bizarro backup, which was fun and super funny. I like humor stuff. Supergirl had Batmite, and as much as I like Batmite, and it was a pretty fun 8 pages, I suppose. Like, not much happened really, but I like the premise that Batmite feels that he made Batman popular with all his meddling. And now he's going to do that with other heroes to make them as popular as Batman. But being a humor book and Dan Jurgens, I've never seen Dan Jurgens as a humor writer. I mean, yes, he created Booster Gold in Action as a foil for Superman, and yes, he wrote some Booster Gold. I just don't see him as funny. Like, the funniest thing he ever wrote was a collector's item on the cover of Death of Superman 75. But it got my attention. I wouldn't even say I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm going to read it, and I'm definitely curious. I'm definitely curious about Batmite as a miniseries by Dan Jurgens. So, and the art was great. So, moving on, Suicide Squad, Cullen Bunn's doing Aquaman now. That's the backup for that, and he's all like super evil. And Mira's the ruler of Atlantis with a team of Atlanteans and underwater people that are going after Aquaman. It's like, how many books is Cullen Bunn going to be writing now? Like Lobo, Suicide Squad, Aquaman, and Green Lantern Corps Lost Army, which is that backup was so weird. It's that concept of Legion Lost, or like a lost battalion of soldiers that somehow have to survive separated from their regiments or whatever, but it was pretty neat. And the last page had a crazy cliffhanger of another character that it was just ridiculous that they ran into, that was completely unexpected. And I'm excited for the Green Lantern Corps Lost Army. I'm excited for a lot of stuff for DC June. I would say I'm definitely cautiously optimistic about DC's June, and I'm going to be covering that in detail every week, every book. And if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you, which is not something I usually do. I usually just talk about the stuff I do like, because I ain't got time for all that. Like, I love comic books, and I want to talk about the comic books I love. I don't want to talk about the comic books I don't like. But DC is having this fresh start of jump-ons with June, and I'm just going to go through all of them, because that's the service I'm going to do. Because, whatever, I'm going to read them all, and I'm going to have opinions, so might as well share them. Injection for Image, this is Warren Ellis' new book, has a white cover and a black cover, kind of like a photo negative of itself. The art's great. It's a lot like the art from Trees. It's a certain style Ellis likes. It's realistic, but has its own kind of characteristics and uniqueness. The thing is, it's technology and mysticism and medicine and kind of the stuff that I've been expecting from Warren Ellis and enjoying from Warren Ellis the whole time. So there's nothing new. It's even set in the United Kingdom. But if you like Warren Ellis, it's more of what you like, and there's no complaints there. So yeah, it's kind of a typecast Warren Ellis book so far with the first issue, but if you like that, get it and you'll enjoy it. No bullshit. Walking Dead, you see this Negan on the cover. Yes, this is creepy, this is fun, but the coolest thing about this is the juxtaposition of what Rick did with Negan, with him being a murderer and could kill him but instead imprison him, and what Maggie is going to do in her town with the attempt made on her life. And cool. And what plays out from that, freaking awesome. That is exciting. That's the type of stuff that The Walking Dead is great with. Saga, great first issue, great first page, great last page. Like the first page will have you laughing out loud. The last page is like, oh shit. Awesome. This is Saga. This is what you get. It delivers on all fronts, and I'm freaking loving Saga. Chrononauts, more bromance through time. Lots of fun stuff here. Lots of really cool twists that I don't even want to spoil because it's the type of book that I'm reading in the family room, and my wife's making dinner, and I keep interrupting her. They're like, oh shit, this happened. Oh, JFK assassination and blah blah blah. You know, you saw where he gave a gold crucifix to Jesus at his birth in Bethlehem, so that they're pulling no punches. They're doing all kinds of fun stuff. So if you like blasphemous and our irreverent craziness with time travel, Chrononauts is your book. Birthright, I'm still loving the hell of this book. Black Science, great. Just love Image. Just love these. They had such a great crop of books last year that is almost all wins for me. It's so many wins. And finally, Rick and Morty #2, all the humor of the show. If you read #1, you're sold. It's like an episode of the show. It's that good. It's that well done, and sold the hell out of that book. Had no complaints. Rick and Morty is a certain type of humor, but the show and the book, dead on. So if you like the show, get the book for reals. The only reason not to is if you're illiterate. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.